Welcome to another edition of JD's Corner. Today's topic is on divorce. Divorce is it's a bad word, period. You find somebody in your life that you love so much, that you cherish so much, that you decide to marry and give your last name to, put rings on, take vows, and then nobody has the endurance to stick it out. Not every marriage is going to be perfect, that's for damn sure. But if you don't open your heart and work at it, it's not going to be successful. The key to it is to be listening, have communication, and compromise. And people don't do any of that today, so we end up with tons of divorces. And in the process of that, this is somebody that you chose to share your world and your life with, and people go into court and they rake them over coals. They rape them over and over again, stealing. The women wanting the houses and the money, and the husbands wanting to take everything and leave the wife destitute and not have nothing at all. And I think it's wrong. It is. Then there's the blackmail of the pawns, which are the children, that the only one that suffers through it is the children. You not letting him see his father isn't affecting you any, but it's affecting the child, because you're not a mother and a father, you're only a mother. And a child needs both. It needs to have a unique blend of the mother and the father together in order for him to grow and become better in life, I guess is the word. There are times when the mother is very important, and then afterwards the father takes over, and vice versa. There's times when the father is very important in like a young girl's life, and then after she reaches a certain age, it's time for her mother to take over and show her the things about growing up and being a woman. A man can't do that. We're not women. So we have no right to speak our mind or our piece on something that we know nothing about. Using the children as pawns, it ruins their lives. It changes them in ways you couldn't even imagine. It messes them up here mentally. It messes them up physically. It messes them up spiritually. Some people don't recover from it. Some divorces are so bad that the child doesn't go to anybody, goes into foster care. And then in that foster care, it bounces around from this system to this system to this system. And it changes who he is or she is each and every time. And sometimes in a good way, sometimes not. Remember, you brought this child into the world. You two procreated with the promise that you were going to love it unconditionally and you were going to take care of this child. And yet, neither one of you have him right now. The system has him. How is that right? How is that right that you fathers out there, you take 50% of the responsibility of having a child, and then you become deadbeat dads and you walk out and don't take care of it? You're right. If she's your ex and you don't give a shit about her, that's fine, and you're right to feel that way depending on the situation, how it broke up. But your child should not have to suffer because of your hatred. When you see her in the past, or she sees you, when you guys come to get the child for visitation rights, it should be civil at all times. There should be no name calling. There should be no grief. There should be no hard feelings. There should be nothing. Just a civil exchange. Time to pick up the child, take him with you, time to drop the child back off, hi, how are you, blah, 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 and walk out the door. There should be no fighting in front of the child. You people that go at it, all you're doing is feeding lawyers. You're giving them money and top of money on top of money that they don't need, and they don't really care about you. They don't care what you get out of divorce no more than they care what she gets out of divorce. All they care about is what they get out of your divorce. And again, remember, it's your money that you guys worked on together, and you're paying one lawyer, she's paying another lawyer, and they're both sucking you completely dry. And when it's all over with, you both only have half of the amount. It's not worth it. You loved her, she loved you. Split everything amicably. It's not that hard to do. My divorce, I didn't take anything. I walked out and left it all to my wife and started over again. Why not? I bought it for her. I bought her to make her life better. No, it didn't work out. Wasn't my fault. Her child wanted a sex change, and he was too young at the time, and I didn't think it was right. As a result, ended up in a divorce. No harm, no foul. So I hate her for it? No. Did I get hurt out of it? Very badly. However, it still wasn't a right for me just to take everything and say, the hell with you, and just leave her sit there. That's wrong. These are people that we bring into our lives that we want to share eternity with, and 3 years down the road, we fall apart. Mostly because everybody marries for the wrong reason. They marry too fast. They meet somebody, 3 days later, they get married. It's not a good thing. It's not. After your marriage, you have this honeymoon phase, and you can love somebody and spend time with them all you want and live in separate places, and your relationship can flourish. And then take them same two people and put them in the same house together and give them 6 months and see how well their relationship is doing. You get on one another's nerves, you find out their strong points, you find out their weak points, you find out everything about a person when you live with them. I know it's not the godly thing to do, but living with a person for a few months or a few years is better than just jumping into marriage. It should be something that's going to last. You guys are putting your heart, souls, and lots of money and everything else into it, and you're bringing God into your lives. And if you don't learn to appreciate one another and talk to one another and communicate with one another, none of it's ever going to work for you. I've seen so many parents. I actually had a set of parents not too long ago. They lost their children to Department of Social Services because neither one of them, they were both mentally and physically handicapped, which they shouldn't have been having children in the first place. Both of the children are handicapped also now. But they weren't able to take care of their own lives, let alone bring another life in. And that's a decision only you can make. No one can make that for you. If you're struggling every solitary day in your life, you can't afford to put another ounce of food in someone else's mouth, clothing over them, a roof over their head. It's too much on you. So you shouldn't have the child. There's all kinds of protection out there. There's a million things to do. You can even snip and it's over with. But consider before you procreate with whoever it is, the male or the female, makes no difference. Just consider the fact that there's that opportunity that you could bring another life in. And before you do that, stand back and think about the life that you could give this child. If it's not a good life, then you should have protected sex at all times. If this is someone that you're in love with and you have unprotected sex and you have a child, it doesn't matter how it turns out for you in the future. The child should be your number one priority and you take care of it. And if not, shame on you. You are a deadbeat dad. There should be a place for people like you that just go in and this is where you live from now on. Not maybe so much a jail, but a quarantine for people that bring another life in and do nothing to help it. And moms, you're just as bad. You use children as pawns in a game of chess, as far as I'm concerned, to get what you want out of the husband. And that's wrong too. If you can't just sit down and talk with them and work it out, then you don't use your kid, period. You just don't. I get so angry and so upset when I see that. I just want to take something and just punch somebody right in the head with it. The only one hurting is the child at all times. Have I been a child of divorce? No, but I've been around two different children of my life for many, many years and watched the product of the divorce and how the father handled it and the mother handled it. Both children ended up screwed up because of the way it happened. You are adults. You are supposed to love one another and you're supposed to love that child. And if you can't, then you should have your dick cut off and you should have your vagina shut up. And it could be stitched completely closed so that you can never procreate and have a child again. This abortion thing that people do all the time, I understand it, but I don't understand it when two people got drunk and they crawled in the back seat of a car somewhere and they went at it like rabbits, and after it was over with, 9 months later, a baby pops out. And because of that baby, your lives are going to change. You're either going to be together or you're not, but the only one going to suffer out of all of it if you don't find a way to work it out is the child. And you need to consider that. As I said before, I was an abused child and I was hurt really bad. I could tell you stories you wouldn't even believe. I had to make a conscious choice in my mind to never have a child, no matter what happens in my life, for fear that I might treat it like I was treated. And I never did. But that was because I loved my child enough not to have him born, not because I didn't want one. I didn't want him to suffer like I did. When you fall in love with somebody, fall in love with them for the right reasons. Don't go by looks, don't go by bank account, and don't go by the material things they have in life. It's just what it is. It's material. It's not going to change nothing. It's not going to make no difference. Find a woman that's got these qualities, loyalty. Find a man that's got that quality, loyalty, respect, honor, communication, trust, honesty. Those are things that that's what you're looking for. What's on the outside, it's going to change as it gets older. What's on the inside, it's never going to. So whoever that person is in here, that's who you're going to fall in love with. And it doesn't matter what the Lord, what Mother Nature, or what anything else, even Father Time does to a human body. You're going to love the person that's on the inside because you fell in love for the right reason. So take that to heart, and I wish all of you a successful marriage. I wish all of you to remember that your children should not have to suffer because you two couldn't get along. Grow up, have communication, if need be, get yourself some therapy, some counseling. It can make a huge difference. Take care. This is JD's Corner. God bless. I'm out.